I like being out of the spotlight. I enjoy just being myself.
Yeah, your own space.
In my own space. But that privilege or that enjoyment comes very rarely for me.
We visited the Faculty of Education in the University of Lagos to have a conversation with the current president of ULSESA.
Whoa!
Popularly
fun
called
facts about
Minister.
I like eating. It's very fun fact. My name is Olufemi Oluwole. I am a 400 level student of biology education, and I'm also leading as a departmental president for the University of Lagos Science Education Students Association, or ULSESA. I think that's enough intro, right?
How did the name Minister come about?
All right. Actually, I am a minister in church.
Okay.
Not an ordained minister. Okay. The word minister in church means servants, right? A minister is a servant, and the whole concept came from my church. Me and my guys in my church, they just came up with the nickname minister.
Yeah, I was actually thinking you wanted to be a minister, maybe minister in politics or something like that.
No, actually, no. And it's also sync up with one of my, my vision personally. I want to be someone who is a model in the educational sector, and the other things around education that I have passion for, that we need to work on. There are concepts that we need to build on. There are changes that we need to make as a country as regards education. So at times I like to switch to the other part of Minister of Education, right? But then that's where the source of that thing came from.
That's so good. So the next thing I'll be asking you now is fun fact about you.
Whoa, fun facts about me. I like eating. It's very fun fact. I like eating. Then there's something about me that I do whenever I get back from the whole stressful day. I like nature. I like silence. I like serenity. And I also like being out of the spotlight. Yeah, it's kind of ironic, but then I like being out of the spotlight. I enjoy just being myself.
Yeah, your own space.
In my own space. But that's privilege or that enjoyment comes very rarely for me. You understand? But that's a fun fact about me.
What were your dreams when you were younger?
That question depends on how far back. There was a time where I wanted to be a pilot, and then it changed to being a doctor, and then it got to a point. The most recent one is an educator, a lecturer to be precise, and that's the one I've been nurturing for so long now.
So you are in the education space. When you wrote JAMB before, is it that UNILAG gave you this course, or you picked it yourself?
Well, I actually did JAMB twice. All right, the first time I applied for pharmacology, I could not get in. So it got to a point that the whole process of the whole stuff got messy. I had to take another JAMB. So on my second sitting, I applied for biology education precisely. I had a season of identity discovery, right? And then I applied for biology education, and this is what I want to do. And the JAMB score was way beyond what's biology education, the cutoff point. But then I left it that way, and
because your vision. I'm so proud of you, because if it's me, I would change it to something way higher. So what you have done different if you didn't win for the president?
What I would have done differently?
Yes.
Actually, what I was doing is what I'm doing right now is like a continuation of what I was doing before I became a president. Even before I became a vice president, I've always positioned myself as someone who, as a go-to person when it comes to education, academics. So when I became the VP, it was like a transition of what I was already doing. Okay, but to answer that question precisely, I would have just been one quiet guy going to the library in the morning, leaving in the night, and going to work. You understand? And once in a while, just show my help, organize free classes. It would have been something similar to what I'm doing now, actually.
So what actually pushed you to become the vice president then?
Wow. when I was in year one, there was no actual passion, dream or goal. You understand? I was just doing my thing, and then it got to a point where some people came to me and was like, "Femi, we've been observing you. We've been seeing what you're doing, and you are someone who can fit into this role of the vice president. Do you mind?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't see this coming." It was weeks before the election, and I decided to give it a thought. I prayed about it, and then I made the decision that I'm going to just continue as the vice president, since it is going to enable what I have been doing, right?
vision.
So I just took up the role of the vice president. I was not shy. I've done some leading in church before. I have a background, a strong background when it comes to leading, and also I was not shy of meeting people, facing the crowd and all of that.
So now the next is, what is the relationship opinion about dating in school?
Tough questions. No, important questions, right?
I'm interested.
I feel like the first thing before you one thing about when it comes to relationship, number one, people need to define who they are. Number one, they need to define what they want, and they need to define when they want it. When people make wrong decisions as regards relationships, they need to go back and check these three questions. It's like I've not done a proper definition of who I am, what I want, and when I want it. Okay, so if you're someone who your nature and then your goals does not allow for the the space of having a relationship and all, then you need to stay with that definition and make decisions accordingly, right? And then what you want. Okay, this is what I want. Is it that I want something serious from someone, and if it's that you want something serious from someone, then you have to put a time frame to it. When it cannot be in year one, it can't be in year one, it can't be in year two. Some year four students are not even ready, right? Good. So those three questions are very important when it comes to making decisions as regards relationship. Your questions are killer questions. One more.
Simple now. It's something you can answer.
Wow, I didn't expect it to get this side. But it's great. I like it.
Thank you.
I think I like the idea of unscripted.
What is the advice that you're going to give students that are just entering year one?
Okay. If you are a year one student, this is definitely your first semester, right?
Yeah.
You need to build a strong foundation academically. You need to lock in. And make sure that your first GPA and then the second semester CGPA is very strong. You are going to thank yourself for that when you get to year 4, because what you have now is going to be like a foundation that you are going to build on. I started with a strong foot, and I'm very grateful for that till now. If you have a strong foundation, when it gets to year 2, year 3, you can always build on it. But if you have something not strong enough, you spend the rest of your school years trying to cover up for the poor grades of year 1. So as a year 1 student, my best advice for you is work on your grades, have that strong foundation to help you on the long run.
So what about people that are struggling, so they're not attending school and then balancing work and school? What is your opinion about it? Because a lot of students are facing that now.
One thing about balance is it's an illusion. You can't have balance when you are doing 2 different things, schooling and working. No, one of them is going to be affected, and I'm serious about that. But then the degree of the effects is now dependent on how hardworking you are, how determined you are, right? If you are someone who is working and you are schooling, and you are able to get the grade B in a course, you could have gotten more than that at the end. You apply that same effort while you are only schooling, right? There will be an effect to it. But for those that are working and schooling, I need them to know that they need to work on their priority. Number one, they need to, of course, they can't escape working because they have a reason for working, right? And that reason is still very, very much valid, right? But at the same time, you need to plan your day according to priority. All right, I have Saturday. Saturday is my free day. Then it means I need to lock in seriously on this Saturday, right? I have Monday. Monday is my work day, but I can still do something. I can still study something. I can still read 5 pages of that slide. I can still cover 10 pages of that slide, right?
Yeah.
So it now goes back to your planning, how you plan your day, how you plan your week. You understand? At times when I know I have a very serious week ahead, I do proper planning on the Sunday evening, right? And I make sure I am as robotic as possible, meaning the first goal must be the first goal. The second goal, I will plan it accordingly and follow through that plan. There's a lot of discipline and determination, but people can do it. We have the capacity to do it. Yes.
I think that discipline is very important because
Yeah.
a lot of us, me, I don't have discipline like that. But just like you said, discipline is very important. So now, what is your key points that you can give the people that are watching right now as a student? Because this video is for students.
Yeah, this platform is for students, and we have different categories of students. Yeah, you know, life in year 1 is different from life in year 4.
Yeah,
it's different. So
very different.
But I'm going to give something that is more generalized. Be always remind yourself of your priority, right? Have a priority list that you commit to.
Okay.
Once you have a priority that is well defined, it is going to help you in your decision making. Yes, do I want to go to that party, or I want to make sure that I cover this slide? You know, have I covered these slides? Now I'm done with this slide. Can I have a little fun? You know, priority list helps a lot. So for students generally, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, the final years, you need to come up with a priority list that is well defined, and that will be like a baseline for your decision making. Whatever decision you want to make, do I want to go into a relationship or not? Do I want to, you know, pick up this skill right now or later? You know, your priority list is going to be like a baseline for your decision making. So have a solid and well-defined priority list, and everything falls in place once you have that.
Okay. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
So right now, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm very I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very pleased that I am also grateful that you invited me into this platform to, you know, to speak with students. I always see opportunities to speak with students as as a privilege, right? Right. It's not like Lord of or the God of. You understand? Now I make mistakes too, right? That I learn from. I make academic mistakes too that I learned from, right? But the fact that you've seen me as someone who can, you know, speak to students, speak to your audience that you really value, right, and give them information, give them advices and, you know, knowledge, is a very big one for me, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
There is a popular quote that says, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way."
At the end of this work.
And after speaking with Mr. Olufemi, we saw exactly that.
So at times I like to
beyond the title of president, we saw someone passionate about growth, service, and helping others become better versions of themselves. And sometimes that is what true leadership looks like.
So I'll just introduce myself.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me too?